in high definition. Local news, better time. This is Fox Wilmington News at 6:30.
Good evening. We're following several breaking news stories at this hour. The first coming out of Columbus County. One person has died, another in the hospital after a crash along Pineland Road near Highway 7476.
We know traffic is down to one lane towards Wilmington, and authorities believe it all started with a crime in Leland. News at 6:30 reporter Ashley Kozakowski is at the scene for us. And Ashley, what's the newest information you can give us?
Well, actually, troopers just opened up this road. They opened it back up, heading eastbound toward Wilmington. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see exactly what's going on behind me here. As you can see, troopers, investigators still out here on the scene. Now, 7476 was closed heading eastbound for about an hour, but they literally just opened this road back up, so traffic is starting to move here. Now, they did take away one of the cars involved, but there's still the Cadillac that police say and troopers say the person who was driving caused all of this to happen. Now, I want to show you some video. This is some new video that we sent into the newsroom for you. Now, here's what troopers say happened. They say that this all started down the road in Leland with a hit and run, and they say the driver of a Cadillac caused that hit and run and then continued to drive down 7476. They say he was trying to pass a semi-truck and he tried to pass it in the median. Well, that's when he struck another car, killing the driver of that car, a woman. But police and troopers have not released that woman's name just yet. Investigation still going on at this time, but they do tell us that the man who was involved and who caused this crash was likely impaired at the time. He has 3 prior DWIs, but they aren't releasing his name. Now, we did talk to a witness. Here's what she had to say.
Everybody had 911 tied up because they had been calling them all the way since Leland. And oh man, we never did get through the 911, and everybody started stopping, and we were just praying that we were still alive because we didn't know which way he was going.
So scary moments for those who were driving down 7476 today. Scary moments for those who witnessed this crash. Now, we don't know yet the name of the woman who was killed in this accident, and troopers have not released the name of the man who they say caused the accident. He was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and they expect him to be released shortly. They say he likely faces felony charges. Reporting live tonight, I'm Ashley Kozakowski, Fox Wilmington, News at 6:30.
All right, thanks, Ashley. What a mess out there. In the meantime, a robber is on the run tonight in Wilmington. Police say the man took off with an iPad from a shop in Chandler's Wharf. Police say the man started talking to some of the business owners. Then he pulled out a weapon and demanded the tablet computer. He grabbed it, took off down Water Street. Officers eventually found the tablet and a BB gun nearby, but that man still missing. All right, it has now been more than 24 hours since we started following a bomb scare in the heart of Monkey Junction, and we are still learning new details tonight. We've got several angles on our coverage tonight, but we start with John, who's been following the explosives investigation. And John, really a lot of new developments today. Yeah, one of the biggest, Michelle, is that we found out that one person is in custody related to this entire investigation, and it's still focused on who built the explosive devices that were found yesterday in that storage unit in New Hanover County. A lot of agencies, including the FBI, the SBI, the Wilmington Police Department bomb unit, are still on the scene at North State Storage. That's on Carolina Beach and Sanders Road. It all started yesterday when people reported an explosion after the lunch hour. Investigators detonated at least 2 suspicious packages. We have yet to confirm with them, though, what those packages included. New tonight, we do know someone is in custody. The FBI, though, is not releasing his name. We do know that whatever was inside those storage units at North State led investigators to a home in New Hanover County earlier today. And News at 6:30 reporter Nadine Mazer was at that scene, and she's with us now with the new details there. Nadine?
Yeah, John, we are actually at that storage facility you were just talking about, and evidence found in one of these units behind me actually led detectives to a nearby home, and that was actually a second location for this bomb investigation. We're going to pull up some video. We were there earlier. You know, this brick home is located in the community called the Cape, which is right off of Carolina Beach Road in the county. Investigators and detectives spent about a good 2-3 hours searching every inch of this home. Turns out they didn't really find any suspicious packages packages or material. But tonight, Fox Wilmington found tax records that show the house is owned by two people by the name of Calliope Gianolis and Gary Slatter Jr. Now, their listed addresses from what we found are in Red Hook, New York, and we tried to make contact with them, but were unsuccessful. But I should mention, no one was evacuated near this home, but I spoke to law enforcement officials who talked to me about kind of the process of how they got to this home. Take a listen.
In our briefing this morning, they discussed what the possibilities were, and if they ran into or encountered a situation that seemed to be dangerous, then we would absolutely, evacuate the area. The sheriff's office knocked on every door on that road, let them know what we were doing, and also, told them what we're doing. If they wanted to leave, they could voluntarily, and then we would approach each, incident as needed be.
Now, we have been pressing law enforcement both yesterday and today for some answers. People want to know who is responsible for this, what was going inside these storage units, and what this house has to do with this entire investigation. But we have not been able to get any answers to those questions. The FBI actually directed me to the federal courthouse in downtown Wilmington, and I went down there to try to find some answers myself, but the clerk there told me that none of the documents have been returned to them yet, and without those being filed at the federal courthouse, we won't be able to really know any more into the nature of this investigation. Reporting live in New Hanover County, I'm Nadine Mazer, Fox Wilmington News at 6:30.
All right, Nadine, thanks. Now stay with Fox Wilmington and foxwilmington.com. We will bring you any new details as they develop in the investigation.
All right, going to turn our attention to weather and talk about some of the temperatures out there that are going to do some wacky things tonight. We'll see the temperatures warm up overnight. We may actually reach our low where it is right now. Take a look at some of the numbers on the graphic. We've got some 30s inland, some 40s down the middle, and some 50s along the coast. And we'll probably see those 50s change over to 60s for tomorrow, but still a good disparity between the temperatures along the coastal counties and the temperatures a little bit farther inland, especially right along the I-95 corridor. We're watching this system. It's bringing some scattered showers here and there right now. We'll see the bulk of the rain arrive just before sunrise tomorrow morning, continue through most of the day. The rain could be heavy at times, and we may pick up about an inch of rain before all is said and done, before we get this system out of here. In fact, look at the temperature graph here. We are expecting those temperatures to warm up as we go through time, and you see we could be very close to 60 by the time we get through sunrise, and then the temperature will hold there before finally some cooler air moves in. We'll talk about what happens the second half of this weekend coming up in just a few.
The former Olympic athlete accused of murder is out of jail tonight on bond, but he's limited as to where he can go. We have those new details in a moment.
And Nikki's producer's pick is a doozy tonight. That hair-raising story and much more. Stay with Fox Wilmington News at 6:30.
You're watching Fox Wilmington News at 6:30. Local news, better time.
Lance Armstrong's legal troubles are getting worse. His attorney said today the Justice Department has joined a whistleblower lawsuit against Armstrong, brought on by one of his former teammates. Last month, Armstrong admitted he used performance-enhancing drugs during his cycling career. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency then stripped Armstrong of his 7 Tour de France titles. Olympic athlete Oscar Pistorius is out of jail on bond. This is just 9 days after he was arrested on charges of shooting and killing his girlfriend. When Pistorius posted the bond of $113,000, he also had to turn over his passports and his guns. He's not allowed to return to his home where the shooting took place. He'll be back in court in June.
The death of an elderly woman in Texas is being blamed on the weather. The National Weather Service says a tornado touched down in East Texas. The storm damaged homes and caused a tree to crash through the elderly woman's house. A neighbor struggled to help her. She died on the way to the hospital. The Weather Service is investigating whether that storm was tornado strength. A fierce winter storm in the meantime is expected to slam into New England this weekend. Much of the Midwest is currently feeling the pain right now. The storm dumps snow and plenty of it from Kansas all the way to Michigan. Some 300 canceled and delayed flights forced about 150 passengers at St. Louis's Lambert Airport. They were stranded at the airport overnight. That airport is open and bustling today, though. So some good news, even though a lot of people did not get any rest, I would say.
Or if they got rest, it was on a hard floor.
Oh, all right, things here going to be kind of messy this weekend.
Yeah, I hope you don't have any outdoor plans for Saturday. If they include water, I guess you're going to be okay, but not much else. Rob Ellis says we will have half a good weekend, though. His forecast 2 minutes away.
Voted Best Weathercaster of the Year, here is First Alert meteorologist Rob Ellis.
It is going to be fun to watch the temperatures tonight because while we will take the temperatures down a few degrees in most locations, we'll probably see our high temperature for the day occur just before midnight and then our low for tomorrow just after midnight because most of these numbers are going to hold in the interior. But right along the coast, we'll see many of these numbers warm up as we go through time. As we mentioned earlier, we could see very close to 60 before even the sun comes up tomorrow. Scattered showers throughout the area. Most of this is not going to cause too many problems, just a light little sprinkle here and there. That will continue off and on throughout the evening. The heaviest rain is expected to arrive sometime around sunrise from all of this moisture that's coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Heavy rain right now, southern Georgia over into parts of Alabama, even Florida having to deal with this. Even some scattered thunderstorms along with this. We'll continue to see that moisture pumped into the Carolinas, so we've got a good day or so to get through that rain. And then off to the north, of course, this is the same system that we've been talking about the past week or so that caused the problems for the Midwest. Now it's in parts of the Great Lakes and even into parts of New England. All that should head east and give them a chance for maybe a half a foot of snow or so in a few spots there, New England, maybe over into Massachusetts. 53 is tonight's overnight low forecast. Now, I know that's strange because we're already at 50. So we may warm up tonight, but again, this is one of those weird situations where the low and high don't really mean a whole lot. Our high temperature likely going to occur sometime mid-morning, and then we'll see the temperatures hold there throughout the day. Good chance of rain tomorrow. Some of that rain could come down pretty heavily at times. Notice how that boundary kind of drifted to the south, and then we saw some of this moisture lift back to the north and west. And that'll continue overnight tonight until tomorrow morning when we see some of the heaviest rain begin to move in. There's 6 a.m. As we go through time, this line, this boundary here will get a little bit better organized. There's noon. And once we get into the afternoon, see that boundary just setting up here? Everything on this side of the boundary is warm. Everything on this side is cold. So there's going to be a tricky forecast here on exactly where that lines up. If it moves a little bit farther to the east, everyone stays cold and no one will get up into the 60s. But I'm holding out hope that at least Brunswick County, New Hanover, and Pender will have some locations that could even get into the mid-60s. Look what happened Sunday morning. Early, if you're an early riser for Sunday morning, lots of clear skies continuing from the morning all the way through the afternoon. Sunday looks great, and the temperatures are going to be warm as well. So you get a really nice second half to the weekend. You just have to get through the wet part. That's going to be on Saturday. There you see Monday. Early in the morning, we do see some clouds. They'll continue through the afternoon, but this rain should hold off. Holding out hope that this rain holds off. We have to put some rain in there for Tuesday, though, as we have another system coming through that looks identical. 53 tonight, 62 for tomorrow, but again, the high and low, it's going to be one of those weird overnight warm-up kind of a things. Then 67 for Sunday. That looks like a very nice day. Monday, not too bad, but a lot of cloud cover in the forecast there. 70 for the high temperature as that system rolls by Tuesday. We'll watch for the possibility of maybe a thunderstorm mixed in. 70% chance of rain, getting back down to seasonable temperatures by Wednesday.
So we get half a decent weekend anyway. Tomorrow, like we were talking earlier, we're going to have to get the Fox Wilmington kayak out to go cover news stories tomorrow. It looks like it's just going to be a washout, right?
It really is. And as much as an inch of rain could fall across the area. Beneficial, good news,
right,
but does kind of wash out your Saturday.
Yeah. Because by the, another 4 or 5 weeks, we're going to be talking about how dry it is. So
we'll
the
get into fire
rain
season.
we get now will only help at that time of year.
We really could use it.
Are we in a deficit right now, did you say?
I believe we are just below where we should be, but we're doing okay at this point. We just want to make sure we don't get too far behind.
Past couple of years, we've gone in with a lot deeper deficits.
Yeah, so we're doing okay.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a viral video that has really made its rounds today.
Yeah, and Nikki is here with us tonight. She says this is one you really want to kind of share with your kids, right, Nikki?
Yeah, no, it's a little long, but the message behind it is just great, and it's really creative. It's about bullying and its long-term effects on people. And people have been so inspired from this video called To This Day that they have started petitioning to have it shown in schools. Now, in the video, the creator talks about an experience in his life and about a girl he knew who was tormented over a large birthmark on her face. Now, he hopes to make kids think before they act or say things with this. He even said, like, he wanted to eliminate words like spaz, because even those kinds of words are, you know.
Absolutely, I think that's great. You know what? I love that, and you get bullied for anything, and then you know, you bully other kids too.
It sticks with you. It really does.
It does.
Well, if you want to watch the video, it's on my Facebook page. Now, looks like Barney could actually be teaching a wrong message. I'm not joking. Now, here's why. Barney, of course, is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a purple one, whose tail drags on the ground. Dino enthusiasts, of course, know that their tails are supposed to be horizontal to the ground and they don't really sit upright. Now, a lot of people and college students don't know that. This was actually part of a study that was conducted. The authors of the study are blaming Barney and toys on the misconceptions, so listen up. Don't do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's what we need to call this segment. Really?
Is this really
I mean,
real?
it's one of those things, you wonder how much the study cost, number one. And how many times in our lives are we going to be questioned as to the position of a T-Rex's tail?
You never know.
Why should Barney have to take the blame for it?
Game shows.
That's what I'm saying.
It could be a money-winning game show question.
This is, soapbox for 2 seconds, but really?
Really?
I still think it's funny.
All right, I'm off my soapbox now. Go ahead.
Perfect. Well, I love my producer's pick today. It's also funny. Michelle found this, and I must say, it will make you giggle. I laughed a lot. Now take a look. Oops. Did you see that? Uh-oh. It's gone. A YouTube user.
Did you see it, John? John? I don't know if John saw it.
Is her hair stuck in the curling iron?
She burned it off. Now she gives lessons, and she ended up burning off her hair as part of this hair lesson. Yep. Look at her face. She said the video from 2012 in October, not a fake. She had a good attitude about it, laughed it off. I just love her response.
She looks like she's what, like 10 or 11
like,
or something?
Is the camera still rolling?
I know, she's like, maybe I should turn this off. Oh my gosh, I really burned my hair.
Because all these girls.
There it is. Okay.
There it goes again.
Oh,
so she just kept it in there too long? Is that what happened?
Yeah, she literally just burned it off. That's.
Oh man.
Oh, I love that. I'm sorry. That's ugly laughter.
Oh, too funny.
Thanks, Nikki.
All right, Nikki, thanks. We're back in a moment.
All right, we have some breaking news just into our newsroom. A spokesperson with the State Bureau of Investigation has just confirmed to us that the SBI is opening an investigation into what we've uncovered in Navassa.
Yeah, all this week we have shown you how town property has been used for really non-governmental purposes. Last night the mayor admitted to authorizing the work but said there's no written policy against it. Well, today a representative from the Cape Fear Council of Government told us this could be against the law if the council had not approved these actions. So once again, as Michelle said, the SBI opening an investigation into the situation in Navassa.
Well, some happier news, a feeling of love this weekend at Thalian Hall.
News at 6:30's Heather Setzler and Encore's Shay Carver talks about 2 events that will tug at your heart.
Hey guys, Shay and I are outside of Thalian Hall because there are a couple things going on here this weekend. First, we're going to talk about She Loves Me, which is Opera House's new musical that has just opened.
Absolutely. It's the season opener for a new year for Opera House. She Loves Me. You probably know the story if you've ever seen the movie You've Got Mail.
Yes.
It's based in 1930 Hungary. It's about 2 unlikely people who fall in love. They meet each other, they dislike each other, and somehow or another fate has it for them to come together always. Come and see it. It will run this weekend through Sunday as well as next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Opera House, like I said, great season opener. They always do fun musicals. You don't want to miss this.
Awesome. Also at Thalian Hall, something a little bit of a different event, but a good one nonetheless. We are going to remember Paco Strickland.
Absolutely. He is a phenomenal flamenco guitarist who is a large part of our community, especially large in the cultural fabric that exists here. And he passed away in January. They are having his life celebration on Saturday at 2 p.m. right here at Thalian. And then that night, they're actually going to be having a jam in honor of Paco over at Mixto, which is on South Water Street. They'll also have a sunrise paddle out at 6:45 a.m. down at Wrightsville Beach Access Public Access number 1 in honor of him too, because he was an avid surfer. So come and celebrate a wonderful musician who is so deserving of so much more than one day of celebration, and he'll be shining down on us.
Great. And then for you art lovers, we have Arrow Ross, a photographer who's doing a couple of shows this weekend.
Absolutely. It's actually taking place tonight, Fourth Friday Gallery Night.
Yeah.
He's going to have his photography hanging at WHQR MC Ernie Gallery, which is on Front Street, and also at Acme Art, which is off of 5th Street. He actually went to India with Homes for Hope, which is a local nonprofit that helps orphans in India, and he documented these lives from when they start in the slums to when they get into the orphanage and how their lives kind of transform.
Wow.
And it is a beautiful display of work. If you happen to miss it tonight, don't worry. It's going to be on display through Acme for the rest of the weekend and at WHQR through March 22nd.
Wonderful. So you have plenty of time to see it.
Plenty of time.
Great. Well, a lot of really special events going on this weekend. Shay, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me as always.
If you need more information, encorepub.com or foxwilmington.com will link you right there. And until next week, back to you.
Lots of fun.
Yep, we'll see you tonight at 10 o'clock.
Good night.